Welcome in, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Pointless Discourse, where myself, Hoppocalypse and DPayne
Hello.
talk about topics that you guys vote on for
Vote
us
on us.
for us each week. This past week, it was Alien movies versus 80s music videos, and 80s music videos won. But before we get into everything, we do have a couple of announcements that I'll hand over to DPayne.
That's an audio thing that won't work in audio. Like I'm taking the things. Anywho, sorry, when you said like vote on us, my brain immediately thought of Taken. It's just like when Liam Neeson finds his daughter, he's like, no, and it's just like, don't vote on us in that way, please don't. Watch Taken, but no, we don't want to be voted on like that. Okay, so first announcement is August 1st, we are having the community cast. We've been kind of talking about it all month, but if you guys had anything that you wanted us to talk about, clarify, or just even random questions about streaming life, if it's appropriate, how much hot benches, any of those questions, I distracted myself with that one. Like,
I used to have a number for that. I haven't been to a gym since quarantine, so I don't have an answer anymore.
Just say your max at any age. 350. Yeah, like any of those questions, feel free to bring in. We would love to answer these questions. Or even if you have quizzes that you want us to take. This was an unlock from a charity stream that we did. Was it in March or April or May? Dude, quarantine feels like this COVID made this year feel like 3, and I'm forgetting what year, a month. Dang it! When we did certain things.
You'd think I would remember because I put it in my calendar and everything. June.
June. I didn't even get the right month. That was just last month.
Yeah, because I went to my Discord for charity ideas, and yeah, I have the graphic I put up in June.
I didn't even have the right month year.
Month year.
Man, I've been telling. Wow. To be fair, I've been getting a lot more of the things done for. There's still things I haven't done from the last charity event that I did. Anywho, speaking about charity, guys, next weekend we will not be having a live recording of Pointless Discourse on Saturday because I'm running an all-day charity event, Charity Palooza 2, where I'm raising money for a charity event called One Up on Cancer. Their whole thing is they raise money for adults to help pay their cancer bills, and I can go in on it more like in other streams and all that, but it's for someone who had a family member go through cancer. It's a stressful time, and if we can take the stress off of money of paying their bills away, so that way they can focus on different things like their family and kind of getting things set up no matter what it is, I want to help the families out in that way. So we'll be doing that, but because that's an all-day thing and it might not work well with our normal podcast recording, we are actually switching it to Tuesday, and we're doing something special. We are going to have our first ever guest appearance, and the thing is, we already chose the topic for it because since it was so short notice, that way the guest could also prepare. Their name is System Chalk. We're all going to be talking about science fiction movies. That being said, we will still roll for not this week, but the week after. So August is the community cast. We will roll for 3 weeks in advance.
Will we? And then I'm assuming we'll just save the poll until the same time frame.
We can make the poll go on for 3 weeks. We'll figure that out, or we'll just save the rolls until after the community cast. That might be a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So I can just move my D10 away. But yeah, we just want to let you guys know our normal TF Tuesday stream, the start of that, we are, or somewhere in that time frame, we are going to be doing Pointless Discourse with our first ever guest. And then depending on what time it is, I'm pretty sure, judging how long these episodes normally go, Hop and I will probably still be doing some TFT. And but if you still wanted some more TFT focused on our normal time slot for this, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday, on the 25th, we will be doing TFT, Team Fight Tactics, and there will be some fun things where you can donate and force DPayne to do silly things and regret his choices in making TFT teams.
Yeah, so essentially, quick reference, it's basically like we're swapping out next week's Tuesday and Saturday content. So whereas Saturdays around this time we usually do the podcast, we'll be doing TFT, and then Tuesdays when we're usually doing TFT, we'll be, at least part of it will be doing podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the one thing. We just pre-chose it, and we actually were talking about this, and we're gonna start bringing, at least start looking and hoping to bring on more guests. And if a guest comes on, we're probably gonna choose something that guest feels more comfortable talking about, since they haven't been able to be able to like do the normal things that we've done, like where we talk about chocolate, to corn chips, and then possibly space. I don't know. Those are all topics we have not talked about except chocolate. So you have to doodle. That is all the announcements that I can think of. So I have to roll my die because Hop already rolled hers.
Yes, and to clarify for anyone who might be new here, we roll dice to determine who speaks first, and whoever does not get to speak first, whether it's even or odd, will determine if we talk about our top or bottom topics first. So I rolled a 5.
I rolled a natural 2.
Oh, I'm actually not. Okay, so by that, since I got a 5, I'll be going first, and DPayne rolled an even, so we'll be talking about our top 2 first, which, from the sounds of it, might be a lot shorter than our bottom 2 80s music videos. There's a lot of weird ones out there. All right, but I'll just jump right in. So my second one, I immediately thought of when I thought of these 80s music videos. Originally, I considered it being my first one, Take On Me by Aha.
We have the same one.
Yeah! We did it! Yep. For the last,
the same exact thing too. Like, it was our number 1. We're like, and we both made it our number 2.
So this is like the Fruit Gushers episode all over again.
I know.
So anyone also unfamiliar, DPayne and I don't like to share topics ahead of time. We'll kind of talk around the topic to make sure we clarify what we mean by the topic, but we never share anything ahead of time. So we are actually surprised when anything lines up.
I'm gonna laugh if I don't know. My number 1 is very specific for me, so okay. We'll see.
All right, but yeah, I guess we can tag team this topic, and then we can save a bunch of time for us to talk about a bunch of 80s music videos we don't like. I'll go over my bullet points very quickly, and you can feel free to go along.
I don't have bullet points except the ones I have written for, like, this is the thing that you like or hate. So.
Getting pulled into a comic, yes. Cheesy, extremely, but the song is extremely cheesy, so it all works. Yeah. The art, I think, is really fun for it, because it doesn't try too hard to be a good comic, but it's not so bad that you can't tell what's going on.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of like of that time that, I don't know what year in the 80s it came out, but it, like the shading and the stuff it used, it's very similar to like a lot of the American comic books that were coming out, and so it wasn't smooth animation, but it was more like it would skip a couple frames, it felt like, but it would still close enough where you can tell movement, but like it was, I guess, it if I'm remembering correctly, it still like skipped like a little bit of those connecting frames.
Yeah, it
In the
wasn't
narration.
it wasn't perfectly smooth. Like I wouldn't watch a whole movie set up like that, but as a
Mhm.
music video, like I forgave it. And I also like that they incorporated the art with the sets so that they tried to make it so that the 3D world and the 2D world and then moving between it wasn't like just jump in and out.
Mhm.
Because they had the scenes where he was, 3D, but on the comic book backgrounds were behind him as if they were framing him and all that stuff. And
Mhm.
acting's awful in it. It's
Oh yeah.
terrible. But for a music video that has other interesting elements, I'll take it.
Mhm. And it's like it's one of those things where like I am trying really hard now not just to break out in the chorus. So I'm just like, all right, for anyone that was at the stream yesterday, this was the song I was trying not to sing because I'm like, this is one of the topics, and I can't sing this
No
right now.
spoilers.
Like it was the hardest stream to do because if anyone there, and it's like if I'm doing anything like where it's just in the back of my head, like League, there's like a lot of like internal thinking. What comes out of my mouth is normally like just me making up song lyrics for songs that exist. And because I watched a butt ton of 80s music videos, all my choices were at the forefront of my brain. I'm like, can't sing that, can't sing that.
And then yeah, for the bad acting, I don't know if you remember if you watched it through to the very end of the video, but like the scene where the lead singer is trying to like break out of the comic and he ends up being like so sweaty it looks like he came out of a pool, and then the girl's crying so much as if someone like died, and I was like, oh, wait, this, this is a little extra.
Look, some of those cut frames was like a whole relationship apparently.
Yeah,
Like,
apparently.
it's just like it was a labyrinth style adventure, never ending story where it happens like in the course of like a second or something like that.
No, but yeah, this was one of the first. Like, I'll be honest though, the reason I thought of this immediately might or might not have been influenced by the fact Family Guy also did a parody of this. I don't know if you've seen that.
No.
I think it's the Chris character goes to a grocery store and he can't find milk, so he reaches towards the back of the milk container, or like how it's like the
Oh,
rows.
is this when he falls into the milk container and it's just like he becomes like the missing child, but it's just like I think I'm
Yeah.
now remembering it. It was a while.
Yeah, it's from an older season of Family Guy, but they did a whole thing where they did the animation of it, and then he comes out screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, where were you?
I don't know.
Yes, our chat remembers.
The only like song that when I think of Family Guy, there's like two things the Family Guy remember. It's the one where Peter gets liposuction, that whole episode,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one where Peter finds out that his house property is not part of the United States, and so he goes through and starts singing "Can't Touch Me," but yeah, it's like "Can't touch me." Nah, 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 nah. And
He's
just,
got like
mixing up lyrics.
Petopia. Is that what he
Yeah.
called it? Or yeah.
I think it's Petopia. I think that's what it is. Which has like one of my favorite like little one shots of there, where it has Chris up in the trees like trying. He's like, yeah, and he tries to like grab the moon and like falls down the tree and just like starts screaming like, we should have monkeys for this, just like on the ground.
Yeah, but no, I don't know. Take on me. I just really like it as a video, and I can't really think of anything else to say about it other than it sticks to its guns. Because I think a problem I've noticed with a lot of the videos from this time is it seems like they had an idea, and then they stopped doing the idea, and then you're confused, and you're lost, and maybe uncomfortable. There was a lot of videos that made me uncomfortable, whether they meant to or not.
Well, I'm gonna laugh at this video is both on our bad lists, but or if it's on our both of our lists in general. But there's one that sticks to its guns, and I wish it didn't. So
That's also fair. Okay.
But no, like what I really like from this, like this is one of the I didn't watch Aha's "Take Me Away."
Well, hold on, what?
Take Me Away. Take on Me.
Take Me Away is a completely different song.
Yeah. Look, I got Take, and then it went went somewhere else. But Take on Me, it's if I'm remembering correctly, there's like, okay, it starts off coffee shop or diner,
Yeah.
and then there's just like a few things I really like about it. Where if I'm remembering correctly, like she gets sucked into her drawing, like, which also is another question just to think about. Is like, this girl thought her drawing was so hot she jumped into paper. Like, what was in that coffee? One, to make drawing come to life. Two, it's like, is that what it takes? I need to start like drawing potential mates so that way I can have paper spouse.
Paper spouse who can eventually come to real life.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I'll work on that next year, 2021, paper spouse. And then but yeah, so that the whole thing happens. But if I remember, like, the waitress gets super mad and like crumples up the paper, and then in paper world, like, that changes like the environment or something like that. Like, doesn't it like crush one of the like creepazoids that are chasing them?
I think so, and then it like distresses them and makes them all like panicky and stuff.
Yeah. And then I forget how she gets out, but it's also one of those things that I find hilarious, where it's just like, it has a song going and there's like no sound effects to real life or anything going on. It's just the song. And then it's just like, it feels like there should have been an explosion or like some sort of sound effect that they just didn't want to put in. And everyone's like, what the heck? And they just see girl like, ah! Like, and it's like, she's like all gross and like it has ink splotches all over her face. And it's just like, and then like just runs home crying.
Yeah, can't interrupt the song with sound effects, DPayne. How dare.
Or emotion. This is all no song. But yeah, so she runs home and all that, and then it's like stinking, like, I want to know what anime they watched, because it's like him breaking out feels like it's in some sort of anime movie, like where he breaks out the paper dimension, where it's just like, if it was an anime today, it'd be like, through the power of friendship, I will not be held. But it's like, he's like, through the power of love, which I feel like
that's also applicable to any anime. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like the power of like, that's gotta be a really I want to see life after that. I wish that this was a TV show and I could see life after Take On Me music video, where it's just
an 80s sitcom of now I've got to live with my paper husband.
Yeah. Oh boy. And it's like,
he doesn't know how to use toilets. Oh no.
he thinks I'm doing genocide anytime I flush toilet paper. He's deathly afraid of scissors.
When I shred important documents, he yells at me.
Strike a pose. But yeah, it's definitely one of those things where I'm sitting there like, I would like to see life after this, and it's like, I don't know why, but when I look at this music video, like, I'm pretty sure this girl's supposed to be like 20s, like younger side of 20s, but I see her as a teenager because, like, I don't know why, but her room looks like, in my brain, looks like a teenager's room. But it's like, imagine this is how she met her boyfriend, and it's like, well, where like dad comes home and is just like, who is this? Like, my paper boyfriend. No, what's his name?
I didn't name him yet.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't name him. And then it's like, okay, well, now, like, at the end of, it would be the mid-season drama point, or like, where it's just like, paper lad and artist girl are going out on a date, but what's this? It's a flesh boyfriend. Will paper relationship be I don't know. I'm trying to think of the word. Will it does all fall apart? Like,
is the relationship too paper thin?
Yeah. Get the so no, yeah. I want this as a soap opera, and then get like the organ. Make this a radio drama. Oh my. We need to pitch this.
Life
Netflix,
after.
Netflix, you made worse. let us do this, and then it's like they get back together. Flesh boyfriend didn't work out, which is a gross term. I wish I could take back, but I can't.
It's out there in the universe now.
Enjoy that, everybody. The Flesh Boyfriend. It's a horror movie. It's the Blob. Flesh. It just expands. But then it's like season 2, Paper Boyfriend falls in love with cardboard cutout girl.
Whoa.
And it's just like you can't leave me, and just like the argument, and then it's just like I could see now it's like, but I made you, and it's like, but you never named me, and closes the door.
I imagined a different meme where they're like, you can't leave me, and he's like, why? And she's like, 'cause it's raining outside.
Even better.
The paper boyfriend and cardboard cutout girlfriend are just like, oh.
And they're just like sitting on the couch, just like.
Oh no.
Oh man, I want this.
We've created a monster. But
Netflix, if you make this, I will bring back my Netflix subscription. Ignore the fact I said I would do it for Dark Crystal and 3 other series that I can't remember, but
that exist.
Yes. This is all I want now.
This is all you want. So wait, so now I guess will you go first for your number 1 video, since we both had the same runner-up? Just so it's still kind of back and forth.
We both talked a good amount about that one. Go ahead. What's your number 1?
Okay. My number 1 is Thriller by Michael Jackson.
Okay, we don't have the same number 1.
I don't agree with you that this is a masterpiece. Did you rewatch it at all, or no?
I watched it like a while ago. And like I remember it, but my number 1 is like
you're pretty sense. Okay.
It will make like for my tastes, like it will make sense why.
Okay. So here
it's a good music video.
It is a very good music video. It's a classic. Is it way too long for a music video? Yes, absolutely. No one asked for a 13-minute short movie, but we got it from Michael Jackson. I think it's a masterpiece.
Forgot that thing was 13 minutes.
Yeah, I rewatched it and I started the YouTube video and I was like, 13 minutes? Am I gonna enjoy this? Oh, and I loved it. Like, the intro is great because they do the really campy, cheesy horror movie skit. If you remember, it's that whole, oh no, the car's out of gas. Mm-hmm. And then they do the whole, they're trying to walk home and then suddenly werewolves. Sorry for any spoilers.
It's been out for like over 30 years.
The dancing in it is of course great because they do really smooth. It's like it's a perfectly how you'd imagine Michael Jackson as a zombie would end up dancing. It's very good. The acting is also surprisingly good for a music video compared to a lot of other things I watched. Because like it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Okay, side note, like the Thriller's the one where it just goes, it does that, right?
Yeah.
It does the arms. For people in the audio, I'm doing like hand claws and moving them left and right. So my first interaction with that, because like my parents, they like grew up in a Christian family and all that, and so growing up I went to a lot of like church camps and stuff, and I just remember like I didn't realize what it was because for some reason my parents didn't want me to watch Michael Jackson, or listen to it all, like I don't know, that I didn't listen to like any radio except for like oldies, like from the 50s, 60s, all around there. So my parents, like, it was something I just didn't know. Well, we brought my cousin to one of these camps, and like, I don't know how much of church world people are familiar with, but there's some songs that they'll go up and they have like motions to it. And they're like, oh, if anyone knows the motions, come up to the stage. And so everyone's doing the motions to the song correctly. And my cousin, who has no clue what it is, he's like, I can go up on stage and dance. He goes up and just starts doing Thriller. And it's just like, it is the funniest thing. Like, we were all dying laughing, even though some of us had no clue what Thriller was. And we were just dying laughing because like the band's playing, everyone's doing the motions and all that, and then my cousin is off to the left, and like the piano player's like, what the heck is going on? And he's just doing Thriller, jumping around the stage, and we're just We were all dying, like, and it was in front of like 10 other churches. Like,
That's beautiful.
no one was paying attention to the music or the motions anymore, except for like a handful of people. They were like, "That kid is doing Thriller up there. What leader let him go up there?"
That's fantastic. But okay, where did I? Oh yeah, I said the acting is good, better than it needs to be. The plot is very thought through, and they do stick to their guns. It has so much of a plot that there's even a plot twist in the music video or music movie, as Chad mentioned. The special effects are also actually really good. They're better than a lot of the campy horror films that I see get aired on the Sci-Fi Channel.
That's not hard though.
It's not hard, but you'd think with technology we would be better than the 80s. The sets are beautiful, like the scenes where all the zombies are coming out of the graves and everything, and they have the fog over it, and it just looks really nice. Costumes, yes, because not only are they convincing zombies, but convincing zombies that have costumes they can still dance in, which has got to be hard for the costume department, because you want to make them look like zombies, but to be able to dance in it and not all of it fall off as they're sweating underneath of everything.
Mm-hmm. I think after the podcast, I'm gonna have to go watch this video, because like I did watch it years ago, but there's other, like, the other one I remembered it and I was like, well, like Take on Me by Aha was like immediate. I think we both, once this came up,
We're like, yeah, that's what
I do. this is it. But when I was looking through it again, and I was like, no, my next one is like,
okay. And then the icing on the cake for me, the cherry on top, my favorite part is Vincent Price does the voiceover for the video.
I've heard the name, but now I'm trying to remember
what else. Horror movie staple. I think he does, if I'm remembering correctly, Twilight Zone. He does the talking to all of that. So he's got like, once you hear his voice.
I'm looking him up right now so I can say.
I know I have a couple DVDs of his classic horror movies, like, I forget the names of them now, but they have one that's basically like Betrayal, but inside of a house. And then another one where he's like the last human in a vampire apocalypse. You think I'd remember these movies because I like Vincent Price this much, but
show.
He's got a very distinct voice. I'm sure if you go back and listen to anything that he's in, you'd be like, oh, it's this guy.
Yeah, I'm just looking right now at this thing. He was in The Fly. House on Haunted Hill?
Yes, House on Haunted Hill. That one's a fun movie.
Yeah. I never watched it.
He's like 50s, right?
Yeah, 50s all the way up to... Oh, he was doing stuff even in 95. Mm-hmm. Hey, he did The Thief and the Cobbler! That was one of my childhood movies.
Yeah. I think I pointed that out too. I was like, it says Vincent Price is in this.
Yeah, I'm now like... When is this guy's... wait a second. He died in 1993. Prince and the Cobbler came out in 95.
So he did his voiceover and then...
Okay, so the funny thing about Prince and the Cobbler that I was talking to my brother about, he was telling me that movie had like 5 different release dates because people kept telling him to put it out. Mm-hmm. And then like he pretty much went bankrupt because it wasn't perfect.
Oh, and he kept changing it and changing it.
Yeah, well, he kept doing more and more and more. So, like, I think the original release date was in, like, in the 80s, but, like, it finally came out in 95 as the final version. Or, actually, I think he told me there's, like, another version that came out in, like, the aughts. But that's off topic. So. First babies. Someone in the comments just said Thief and the Cobbler is like baby's first acid trip. It's a good movie. You'll love it.
All right, but yes, Thriller is my number 1 music video from the 80s. I think it's because, like, maybe it's because I'm biased and I really like the horror genre and I really appreciate that it's like a music movie and not just a bunch of things thrown together for a music video.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad that you said that because that feels like that is something where my bottom 2 are that. Where just things thrown together. So, okay. I don't know. Is there anything else before I move on to mine?
I will say I do have like a runner-up for my top one
Yeah,
where
go
I
ahead.
didn't realize it was a good music video until I went and watched it last night, but I had already decided Thriller's my favorite, so it wasn't
Hmm.
moving. Like a Prayer by Madonna.
I didn't watch it, so
It's just impressive watching it now because it's again
oops.
she kind of like wrote the, I don't know if she wrote the video, but like the video is kind of written like a play where
Okay.
it's just, I don't know, it's surprising. I wasn't
Hmm.
expecting it to be as good as it was, and Strider looked up a list of the supposed best 80s videos, and that was like
Okay.
numbered. It was Thriller, and then it was this. I made my
We,
list before he did that, though.
yeah, we looked at the same list then.
Oh.
I always look at it just so I know what is out at that point. So that way I'm like, okay.
You know, your range of
Yeah.
songs, yeah.
Okay. So my number one has a bunch of different things in there. I believe in the past I mentioned I have a love for Muppets, the Muppets movies. I really like all Jim Henson films, pretty much, like Labyrinth, Mirror Mask. I'm pretty sure there's other ones that I'm forgetting that I also really like. Dark Crystal. So you take the monster house factory of Jim Henson, and he makes these puppets to be just used in this one music video, and it's called Land of Confusion by Genesis. The whole thing, it's kind of, it's like a story as well, where, and it's, I don't know, I know you're, if I remember correctly, you weren't a big fan of Muppets.
I didn't really grow up with it, so I don't have the
Okay.
same connection.
Okay. So if this music video is very unsettling to watch,
Is it really? Oh
but
boy.
it's good. And okay, so it starts off with like these two like old people Muppets, and it's just like, he's like, yep, well, it's, and they're just sitting in bed, like, well, dear, it's time to go to bed. And she's like reading her book, and she's like, yep. And she's like, okay, whatever. And it's like, take your pills. Like, okay. And like pops pills, and then just like falls back in bed. And then the music starts. And the whole music video is like this nightmare-esque dream of him just like seeing like it's very dream-esque, and it's like it starts off with like you like walk through the swamp, and then there's like Jim Henson creatures like popping out of the fog, just like just like making weird noises and all this stuff, and then it gets into the song, and they make like the creepiest looking Muppets of the band Genesis, and like they're just, I have the song in my head right now. I really do like this song, but it's like they're going, and it's, the whole thing is done in Muppets. There's a part where it like cuts back to like the old person, and like his wife is still like reading, and like the grandpa is like for some reason his bed is like underwater, and there's just like bubbles shooting out of his nose, and just sleeping peacefully. And then like it gets to the chorus, and it's um like pretty much like all like this army of like gas masked like people like in all black just walking around, just, oh man, I kind of wish I did a little bit more research on what the song meant, because it will kind of help explain a little bit of why they did the things that they did. But it was like pretty much, if I'm understanding right, it was like the Land of Confusion, just people like losing their standing and getting all like confused and all that. I'm probably wrong, but like there's just a lot of like, I don't know, just like scenes that are just in there. There's like a part where like, and then like when he wakes up, like he comes out of the water, he's like, oh, that was a good nap. And he's just like looks out, and like the world's exploding and just all this stuff. And I don't know, it's the aesthetic of the thing where it's just like it's all done with Muppets. And like if you ever watch Labyrinth, and just the set pieces in there where they're able to have like all these different Muppets and puppets just running around like in these set pieces, it's literally like they gave Jim Henson's like, hey, here's the song, here's what it means. We would like puppets of ourselves, but have fun. And I feel like when they tell Jim Henson have fun, we get things like Mirror Mask and Labyrinth and Dark Crystal, and that's we got this as well. And it's one of those things where I remember like this guy that I worked with, he's like, dude, just watch it. It's a crazy music video. It's like it's really weird. I'm like, okay. And so I gave it a watch, and I just remember watching it, and then I had to go to like a thing with like with a whole bunch of friends, and I'm sitting there, sorry guys, I just watched a really creepy music video, and that's all I'm thinking about right now. Like this was years ago, but I'm just like it's really well done, and just like it as we were saying earlier about like Aha's Take on Me and Thriller, it like creates its own world that it's in, and it's like everything is in this dream of this old man. And I don't know, I probably want to go watch it again after this.
So
But
do you think it would still be your number one if you didn't have the connection to like Jim Henson? And
probably not.
Yeah, because you make it sound very creepy.
Yeah, it is like, it's like a really creepy music video. Like this is why, as I was explaining, I was like, I wish I wasn't so stuck on my worst two, so I could do a little bit more digging on what Land of Confusion stood for.
Yeah, I ended up doing a quick search. So apparently it's a political song which questions the wisdom of world leaders at a time when the US and Russia were enemies and there was a threat of nuclear war.
Okay, yeah, no, that's okay. That's pretty much the video right there. Like that's okay, sorry. I don't know if there's more, but or if that was it.
Now that like Phil Collins has a quote about it, but like it pretty much just like what do you call it? Agrees with that statement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like with that, like just with that line alone, and you watch it's also, I guess, one of those things where like I don't know, you could also tie it in with a lot of things going on today as well, and you're like, like there's not like anything super violent going on in the thing, but it's just like the meaning of the song. But I don't know, it's like I don't expect it to take your like top 5, excuse me, of your songs, but it's definitely like one of those things where I'm just like I don't know, it's one of those ones I'm like, yeah, I remember watching this when I was a teenager, like when I was like 18, 19 years old, and like to this day I can still remember 75% of it like very vividly.
Yeah, I don't think
the right word.
I don't think I've seen any of it, so
yeah,
maybe I'll have to go watch it.
Yeah, and don't worry, it's not like 15 minutes long. I think it's like 6, but it's it's just one of those things where I don't know. I really like practical effects in movies, and I like what's happening in movies now, like because we're able to get a quality and an image that we weren't able to in years past. But there's just some things that I feel like you lose. And so this movie, everything in here is practical effects. There's nothing CGI to my knowledge, unless like they only made like 5 puppets for these kind of like gas masked baton wielding people, and then they just put them in front of a green screen and just copy and paste. But that doesn't really seem like Henson's style from what I've seen. That being said, I remember seeing in Labyrinth when there is CGI in that movie when they take heads off of the people. But anyway, that's a different thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, practical effects is definitely something I miss in modern movies. Like, Thriller, that one's full of practical effects. I don't believe there's any CGI in that. And, no, and then that takes me back to, I mean, I'm sure it's another topic, but one of my favorite, nope, I won't talk about one of my favorite horror movies because maybe it's a topic in the future. No spoilers, right?
Yeah. Well, like, just thinking of a movie that has practical effects well, is District 9.
District 9 is a good movie.
For people who don't know, a quick synopsis of District 9. It starts off as a documentary where this guy's going in there, and then we're following this reporter. He gets alien juice on him, and he
Spoilers.
Well, it's in the beginning of the movie.
But anyway, you can go on.
Yeah, and like it's the whole kind of thing of the movie, and like he's slowly turning into one of these aliens that are part of the world. But I remember watching the behind the scenes, and until as he's transforming, all that stuff is practical effect. Like it's all prosthetics, contact lenses, just different things. So like it's not like him just being CGI, which is I think the reason why that movie looks so good.
It's believable, yeah.
Yeah, because it's not like touched up afterwards. Like they are, all that stuff is they're gluing and doing the makeup on him, and I want to watch that movie again now.
Yeah, but now that feels like a spoiler because that might be in my list of movies for Tuesday. Anyway.
Hey, everyone forget that one.
Yeah, that's fine. There's a lot of sci-fi movies out there. I need to go back and like reorganize the list of all the ones that I have seen.
I think my top 1 and 2, my top 1 is from the 90s, and my top 2 is from the 90s, and my top 1 is from the 80s.
That's fair. But
I'm not going to say what year because that might tie all into
But okay, anything else to say for the Genesis music video?
No, because I think we're about to go look at the sins of
Yes. So I have a lot that, like, I'm not the most confident in my runner-up worst one, so I'm just going to list off a bunch that I could have put here. Built This City is a very bad music video.
That movie, I watched that. Oh my god.
It's so bizarre.
I love it when Abe Lincoln gets up.
I looked at Starter. I was like, did they just discover green screen? He's like, yeah, I think so. I was like, oh, so that's why they're literally building a city behind them as they're singing their song.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, so that one was a runner-up. Lies by the Thompson Twins is also weird and uncomfortable.
I just realized something. I wonder if one of these runner-ups, you haven't said one that's on my list.
Okay.
Do we want to do our number 1 and 2 bad, and then that way we won't ruin, but won't potentially ruin?
Okay, we'll do it like that. So, okay, my runner-up for worst is
I'm just saying that because We Built the City was very close to one I put on.
That's what I almost put that in place. My runner-up is Down Under by Men at Work.
Okay, it's a fun song. That's one of the things is a little bit of a bummer for the bad sign, because
they're all good songs.
They're good songs.
They're all good songs.
Guy, this video.
Did you watch
Why?
Down Under?
I didn't.
Okay.
I was too starstruck by my 2 bad choices.
Okay, so I will try and give you a good summary. So, you know the words to the song. It decides that it has to be extremely literal in that they have mini skits. They have mini skits where they interpret things pretty literally. It opens up with him going, and there's the lady by the lake, and she's sitting at a table, and he goes and he gets a mouthful of cereal because he has to eat his breakfast. That's what the line says. Yeah. And then she mouths words at him, and then he reacts, and then the music video continues, and then they have a dance montage. And there's, you know how they have the part with, I think it's a flute.
Is it?
Yeah. There's a guy in a tree hanging out with a stuffed koala. But
why was this not on your top list? This sounds great.
It's so bizarre. And then what you'll notice is that guy that has the stuffed koala, he holds that koala on a string, and as he runs through different portions of the video, he's dragging the stuffed koala around with him. And then they have the scene where they're in Berlin at the bar, and they have a guy literally mouth out there's the guy buying the drink. He's like, do you speak of my language? And he's like, yes, I'm from the land down under, and stands up because he's 6 foot tall. And he's 6 foot.
Speak of my language.
And then he hands him a Vegemite sandwich by giving him a giant loaf of bread covered in Vegemite and throws it at him. And it's It's also literal. And Strider was sitting there. He's going like, see, now they're in the bungalow. And I was like, why?
I imagine this is what some people's lives were in the 80s, though.
Like, it is entertaining. It is fun, but it is a fever dream because there's nothing actually happening. It's just like if you gave like 8-year-olds the song lyrics and said, what would you do in this part of the song? They'd be like, I'd sit down at the table and eat my breakfast and talk to the strange lady. and and then there's dance montages because there has to be a dance montage in 80s videos. Except it's just like the guys in the band in the desert where 3 of them are doing one dance move in the front row and the other 3 are like digging in the sand in the back row. And they're just doing that. And then the very end is the most confusing part to me. They have the guys in the band standing out in the front, and they're just walking through the desert. And then there's a crew behind them that are like carrying, and I don't know what it is. It's either some kind of treasure that they found in the land down under. It almost looks like band gear because it's got like that case look to it where it's like the black and then the silver lining. Or like it's like a casket. Like I don't know which one it is. And there's no confirmation. The video just ends zooming out of them walking through the desert carrying this stuff.
I don't know why the first thing that popped in my head is comb through the desert.
But it's very just... It's like we complained about. It's just various skits thrown together and you're like, what's happening? Is this real?
Oh, man. I'm still getting over the fact that there's Piccolo player running around with a koala on a string.
And I didn't notice it the first time I watched it. I showed it to Strider. He was like, it was a weird video, but it wasn't the worst video. But during the dance skit, I realized he had something attached to him, and I was like, what is that? And he skips away into the desert, and I realized it's the stuffed koala.
It'd be great if that koala just keeps looking worse and worse. It's just like...
That's how many takes it took.
Yeah, it's just like... Save me. Please.
It is worth watching because it's just extremely confusing. I don't know what's happening other than the fact that they're just mouthing the words that are in the song. And this song doesn't even really, like, connect with itself.
I was right. I was so excited for this episode of the podcast, and this is, like, one of my favorites. And we're not even done it yet.
All right, that's where I'll leave my runner-up. What is your runner-up?
Okay, I'm like live switching my runner-up, and
what?
Yes.
Wait.
I haven't said it, so you don't know what order they're in.
So it's not Built This City.
No. Built the City was close to be on my list.
Yeah, that was very close to be on my list.
It is not on my list. I'm just switching my number 1 and 2 because the more I'm thinking about it, like my number 2 that I wrote down, I'm like, it was much more of a trip than the first one. And the first one, it's a bad music video, but it's made worse culturally.
Oh no.
So
there are some things that I saw happening and I was like, this is not okay.
So when people think of movies tied to Philadelphia, what movie do people normally think of?
Rocky.
Yes. What is the song to Rocky?
Eye of the Tiger.
Have you ever watched the music video to Eye of the Tiger?
I watched it and it seemed very boring to me.
Yes, which is a sin because Rocky is so good.
Yeah, like I was just laughing. I was like, I thought this song was tough, but the lead singer is kind of like laughing his way through the lyrics.
Okay, so for people who never watched the Eye of the Tiger music video, it starts off with like, and it's just like the lead singer comes out and just boom, leather jacket, just walking down the street, and then what's that? Another band member, leather jacket. Oh wait, another one, leather jacket. What's that? He's the keyboard. He looks like Elton John. Just like bright baby blue blazer.
I did say to Strider, I was like, if these 5 men were walking down the street, what would you do? He was like, I don't know. I was like, you're right. You would say, get out of my way. I'm walking here. You wouldn't move out of their way.
Yeah, and he's just like just super tough looking, and they're just like, yeah, let's go. Like, this music video is so bad that I think I fell asleep in the middle of it and woke up and at the end, where it's just like, I don't know. It's one of those things I just find it funny because like the rest of the band's like looking tough, and so they get to this like hole in the wall place, which is literally a hole in the wall. Like there's like construction, and they're like the lead singer's still singing, and they're just setting up their music instruments. Like, yeah, this is cool. We're tough people. Yeah, and then it's just like still on the lead singer, and then it's like every once in a while you get a cut scene, like you get just like a quick look at the piano player, which didn't get the memo of like we're trying to be tough guys, because he's like, yeah guys, we're here, woo! and he's just having the time of his life, and like I don't know why, but every time I look at him he reminds me of like Elton John. Like just
Is it the
bright
glasses?
colors.
Is it the
Yeah.
hair? Is it
It's like-
everything?
it definitely feels like, hey, we're all wearing like leather jackets, jeans, we're gonna look like we gotta look tough. It's like, yeah, I got that, and then like just literally wasn't listening, showed up and just like bright blue blazer, just like, yeah. and there's that, and it's going on, and to the part where it gets to the end of the song, where all of a sudden they're like in the eye of a trash bag tornado.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I said to Strider, I was like, how many people do you think are behind that shaking the thing? He was like, I think it's a fan. He was like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a tornado. I was like, they could have picked a less cheap material.
Yeah, it's a trash tornado. Trash NATO. Take that, sci-fi. You can have it for free. Sharknado. And so yeah, they did that, and I'm just like, you know what would have been a lot better? Just literally make an RVM, a Rocky music video, just like how people made anime music videos to that Trapped song that I'm forgetting for years.
I was gonna say, I know Linkin Park has an anime music video.
Yeah.
I didn't know Trapped did as well.
Trapped had one. It's just like, no, to take me on. Take
Oh,
me on.
their one Trapped song.
their one Trapped song. Yes. That's like, I saw a bunch of them for that, and so it's just like they should have just been like, just do that. I'm pretty sure Sylvester Stallone would have been like, yeah, sure, do it. And like, I don't know, it's just like that song in my brain is so cemented with the idea of Rocky, and it's like when I hear that song I just think Rocky running down the street, boxing, punching meat, punching people, punching other things, and then to like lifts his sweaty pits up to his statue and just like, woo. And yeah, that was, I'm like, I wish I could have taken back the 3 minutes that I fell asleep in the middle of watching this music video.
It is definitely, yeah, when you compare it, they make the song seem much less tough than the song is like, has the vibe and the way the song's used. Because yeah, it's like, it's used in Rocky. I think I've seen it used in like for wrestling intros when they walk out on the stage.
Yeah,
for
like it's that tough guy song. It's the tough guy song, and literally the people playing the song, no matter what you dress them up for, ain't gonna look like a tough guy. I'm sorry.
Should
but
have just
it's
had
true.
actors at that point. Like, oh no.
They already had actors. They had Rocky. Wait, what came out
Was
first?
the?
Because
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Rocky 1 already came out. This song came out for Rocky 3,
Okay.
I believe. Chat will prove me wrong if I'm wrong, but if I remember correctly, Rocky 3 is when I the Tiger first started coming out, and it was like that they wanted that song in there because Apollo Creed literally comes up verbatim to Rocky and say, dude, when we fought, you had the eye of the tiger, you lost it. And it's just like training montage of that to go fight Mr. T. And oh man, now I just want to watch Rocky. So, like, for people who don't know, we were talking about this on stream yesterday. Technically, I am a child of the 80s. I was born in the last year, and I have no memory of it, but I am a child of the 80s.
So it looks like Rocky, the first Rocky was 1976.
Yeah, I
and-
remember that one came out in the 70s.
And then Eye of the Tiger album came out in 82.
Oh, I thought you were about to say 79. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I think 82 is the one that they generally put a year on it.
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, Rocky was but maybe Sylvester Stallone was too expensive by then.
maybe, but like, I don't know. He just always seems like the way he's portrayed is like, if it's a good idea, let's do it. In my head. So,
I mean, The Expendables are a movie.
yeah, 2, 3,
3, I think. Yeah, just keep bringing on more classic action movie stars. It'll get better, maybe.
Just like how the series ends with Rocky 4 and then picks up again with Rocky Balboa and Creed. There's no 5th one. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But that's all I have to say. Like, as I said,
So it was more of a disappointment than the video itself.
It was a cultural sin because it should have just been Rocky.
Should have just been Rocky.
Should have just been Rocky. But no, you did this.
Okay. So I guess mine is kind of in the same vein, as in it's a disappointment. My least favorite music video from the 80s is Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler.
Okay. Good, we don't have the same one.
I love the song. It's a great song. I will listen to this song a lot, right? Music video is super uncomfortable. I do not know who decided the direction this video should go on. But for everyone that knows the song, it's a love song, yes? No question about it. It's a love song. Bonnie Tyler is singing it to high school children.
Shouldn't have been taking a drink.
I think I looked it up. She was at least in her 30s when the song came out. Because I know, if I remember right, Bonnie Tyler had one of those stories where she wanted to be a popular singer, etc. But people told her her voice didn't fit or she didn't fit the look. You know, that usual story. Mm-hmm. Like, the only thing that I can think to make up for this mistake of a music video is that she told someone in the studio her first love was in high school. You know, like, that's it. But, oh no, there's a lot of weird imagery happening.
I was thinking about just watching the video after this, but not anymore.
You should. It's like she doesn't, do anything with anybody. She's just singing it at them. Like, one of the weirdest interpretations I think of the song is, you know how there's the line, turn around, bright eyes, that is like consistent throughout the song. It doesn't need literal interpretation, does it? It's just a line in a song. It's like a nickname. It's just something you say about someone.
Does this person have neon eyes?
There is a choir of young men with bright eyes singing at her in one scene. A whole choir, DPayne.
Okay, hold up. I'm right now. I'm not gonna watch it now, but I know my brain will forget as soon as the podcast is done. Okay, what's the name of the song again? I forgot that already.
Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Sorry for the typing.
And then there's the other thing where, there's dance. Look, I made the joke about the Down Under. There needs to be dance montages in every 80s music video. The scene is Bonnie Tyler standing, and there's a circle of supposed high school boys dancing in circles around her in, I guess, wrestling team uniforms or semi-gladiator gear because, like, their clothes are half ripped off as they're kind of dancing at her, and she's just standing there. And like,
yeah, I'm clicking through the video right now. So
it's weird, isn't it? Like the lighting and the.
I clicked a minute in, and there's ninjas.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have explanation.
I'm trying to find the shiny-eyed boys.
It's.
Oh, hold on! I found a choir. Oh, these guys are wearing sunglasses. They're so shiny. Like, oh. Okay.
There's just a lot of weird imagery, and it's a love song, but these are clearly, like, you look at them, they're young boys.
Yeah. I don't know. This one's an odd one, that's for sure. Oh, now she's like, okay, I'm done watching this.
You should watch it in its entirety. It is a trip.
I made it to 3 minutes, and it's just like at the 3-minute mark, there's just sweaty teenage boy fixing his hair.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. The lyrics of the song is it's a good song, and then you watch this and you're like, oh no, oh no, oh no, who did this?
Oh, I found. Wait a second.
What did
I
you
see? What I thought I saw.
What did you think you saw?
There's a room full of school kids with button-up shirts, and the wind blows, and their shirts are blowing off.
Do you understand my pain, DPayne?
Did Epstein write this?
Because, like, I like how you agreed with me. You're like, yeah, it's a good song. It's a love song. Teenage boys. Hold up.
Oh my goodness! I found the glowy eyes.
It's
Is this from
scary.
The Exorcist?
It is scary.
Okay, y'all, everyone, just look up Totally Close to the Heart on the YouTube. If you're listening to this later, cool. Pause it after I say this. Just go to the. You know what? I'm just going to do this for chat. If you guys are listening to this later, go to 3 minutes 30 seconds. Everyone else here, just I'm putting it in chat. Have right there. It should take you right to it.
To glowy eyes.
It should take you right to Glow Eye Central.
But do you understand why it's so weird? Like, the whole video is just like...
I'm making sure it takes us to Glow Eye Central. I'm tired of looking at this ad. Go away, ad. Yep. Oh my gosh, there it is. I'm waiting for like stinging Exorcist girl to run around like backwards, throwing up everywhere.
Like, the fact that you hadn't seen this, you're like, oh, is there like one kid with bright eyes? A choir. A choir.
Was this directed? Oh, no. Okay, yeah. I'm done watching this live on stream.
So that's where I will leave my number one worst music video of the 80s.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Speaking of a video making you incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on. So my number one, I'm not gonna say it's a song I like, but it's a song that will always get stuck in my head, no matter what. Like, all I had to do is like listen to a little bit of it, and it gets stuck in my head. And it's "Wake Me Up Before You Go Go" by Wham.
Okay, I did watch this video as well, and I'm curious to know why you think it's so bad.
It's okay. So it starts off like, I feel like, once again, I said at the beginning of this, went to a lot of church camps. It feels like it's the beginning of, like, the beginning part is like a church camp, like music band, and it's just like, oh man, I'm trying to remember like what the shirts say.
Okay, so I
But,
had to do research on it. So the shirts say "Choose Life,"
Choose Life. Yeah, I'm like,
But-
there was something on.
but it was brought to my attention that this song is actually a suicide OD prevention song.
Okay. I don't know if it worked, but
But like, if you listen to the lyrics at all,
yeah, like I could see the
yeah. But it's a very poppy song, so it doesn't
yes.
give me the vibe that I think it wanted to. But I think lyrically, it's trying.
Yeah. It tried. And I guess I should say, now that is out on the podcast, DPayne is like against the suicide. Does not, just because he does not like this song doesn't mean that he's all for it. But yeah, so like it starts off with that, and it's like, okay, this is fine, like happy-go-lucky people, like just choose life, whatever. I don't know what this is all about, and it's just one of these things. I'm like, the song's gonna get stuck in my head. This is one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of the song.
It just instantly gets stuck in your head.
Yeah, it instantly gets stuck in my head, and then it's like, it was one of those things. Like, I looked down at my keyboard, and then I looked back up, and then it's like, everyone's wearing short shorts. They're wearing like Daisy Dukes, like just having the time of their life on stage. There's so many bright colors. Like it's like night and day difference. And then I don't know. It was just like, I didn't like it because I'm like, it's not so much like, okay, dude, wear what you want, but it was like, why is there so many people just like, he's just like running up and down like a model runway stage, and like people just like they ain't grabbing the package, but man, they're grabbing pretty much all over the place. And guess what? I don't like it when it happens on any gender. It's just like, keep your hands to yourself. But it's like, I don't know. It was one of those things where I'm like, I wasn't like disturbed or like disgusted watching it. It was just more like, why? Like, why are they all wearing short shorts? Why are all these people like it like it seemed like there was two guys that were really into it, and like and then you get like the glamour shots of the lead singer like 2 to 3/3 through the end, and he's just like when he just starts hitting all the high notes, wishing he was in aha. But yeah, it was just one of those things. He's just sitting there just going for it, and then I'm like, okay, and then it just starts cutting to like the other people are like, yeah, we're just paid to be here, just
playing the instruments.
Yeah, playing the instruments, doing the background vocals. There's like shots like when like he's in his bright color form. Like I'll admit, if they were trying to make people remember the music video, it definitely worked. But I only remember the second half because of all the colors.
Okay.
I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm expecting now you're gonna tell me what everything means in this music video.
Oh, the later half I don't understand, other than the fact that that was just the 80s style. I mean, like, there is the song that made me laugh and I realized it's the Let's Get Physical that you always see people work out to, but when you listen to the lyrics, it's actually a very dirty song, and the video is just Olivia Newton-John just doing aerobics exercises in a leotard and tights, and you're like, this is weird. This is uncomfortable.
The side note about that is like it when I was younger, I remember my parents like if a song came on the radio, they're like, that song's so dirty and all that stuff. And then as I got older and I listened to the songs they love, and I'm like, they're saying the same thing
in a different way.
Yeah, except they're not putting it behind a veil. They're pretty much like pretty much go to town, just do things.
Yeah, I think Olivia Newton-John at one point says like, stop talking, let's talk horizontally. Like there's no innuendo. She just literally said, and then she says, let your body talk for about 2 minutes. But okay, I take my statement back earlier. I don't know if the song was necessarily written like that, but because of his shirt choice was part of that whole movement.
Okay, yeah, I could see a shirt choice and all that, but it was like, I don't know, it was definitely like, did they switch to this because they realized no one was getting past the halfway point of the video?
I don't know. I don't know why they decided to change outfits. That I can't say. It could have just been they wanted to be heartthrobs, and the heartthrobs for them then were like short shorts.
It was just like, and I don't know. It like, I'll admit, it might be something where in 2020, where, especially nowadays, when it's just like everyone's like, yeah, no touch. Is like, why would you run around? Like, I don't know. It was just one of those things. Or like, there's even shots of the thing where it's like they show like people in the crowd, and they're just like, it's like the same thing. Like, I was paid to be here. Like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like it is awkward to see it in that concert setting for Wake Me Up Before You Go, but I think it's weirder in, I keep bringing up Built This City. I should have made that my runner-up. But they just stare blankly and sometimes mouth one or two words, but never a whole line of the song, and it's very unnerving.
Okay, let's talk about Built This City, because I think we both watched it and we're both like, what the heck? So there's parts in that movie where they're sitting there and like when they're singing the verses, they're like just staring deadpan in the camera,
doing nothing.
And then they're like, just throw more faces.
Faces everywhere.
Faces up there. Just all the faces. Do that, and then and I don't know, like definitely the weirdest part where it's just like, let's walk up to Abe Lincoln. Yo, we built this city, and then he's like, yeah.
Yeah, they just stare. At first they're just staring at it, and then I had to ask myself. I was like, what city got built on rock and roll? Did DC get built on rock and roll? But then they end up in Vegas.
I know.
I was like, did Vegas get built on rock and roll? And then in the end, they show every city monument.
I didn't make it to the end. I stopped when the dice fell, and then
I started chasing.
I'm like, what is going on?
So much green screen utilized in one video. They must have felt so cool. There's a scene, so if you didn't make it that far, there's a scene where the whole band is playing on top of a building, right? And on top of the building, behind them, okay, they
I
had,
saw them on top of the building.
they zoom in on certain members of the band, and then they start building random cities behind them. Like, they start putting monuments, and while they do that, there are people, like, crawling out of the stage of the roof of wherever they're supposedly standing, and I was like, why are there just people multiplying? I don't understand.
It's how the birthing happens.
Yeah, but no, like, other videos that made me uncomfortable, I think I might have snuck it in, Lies by the Thompson Twins. And watching a video of the Thompson Twins, I had to ask Strider, I was like, who are the twins in this? And he looked it up and immediately goes, there are neither Thompsons nor twins in the band, the Thompson Twins. I was like, excuse me? But Lies is a music video where you're looking at a perspective as someone in bed, but they show you like three pairs of feet at the end of the bed. And then it's like very creepy imagery of the band members of Lies singing parts of the song at you while like they reenact scenes that are supposedly related to the song. So that's weird. There was another, Domo Arigato is also uncomfortable to watch. I couldn't tell like what was happening and why they set it up like this. Like, the stage thing is cool, but the robot masks and everything they used,
Eh. Hold on, I need to look up. There was one that like they were gonna be my bad ones, but hold on, let me look up. And because I forget what the other one is called. I remember what the one song.
Mm-hmm.
Bad 80s music.
We also watched Spin Me Right Round, considering that one. But I said the lead singer is having too much fun. I cannot fault him for this weird video. He's having the time of his life.
Oh, great. Now my search is bringing up different ones. There's Survivor. One that I saw on the list multiple times was Men Without Hats, Safety Dance.
Oh, yes. Safety Dance. I love that music video.
Oh, yeah. Same here, but it's just like, it's on so many, like, this song is, like, this music video is terrible.
It's just bizarre. It's like he goes to an abandoned Renaissance fair and then finds the rest of the Renaissance fair, essentially is what it is. Did you know that song is a protest song?
No.
Apparently, it was something along the lines of certain clubs, when disco was dying, wouldn't let people do certain wouldn't dance to new wave in the clubs. So he wrote Safety Dance because, you know, he has all the lines like, if your friends don't dance and they're no friends of mine.
No friends of mine.
So it's like a whole thing. But the video does not allude to that at all. And the Safety Dance itself, I believe, is just them making a stop sign with their arms.
I don't know. It's been a while since I saw it. I know the like actual song. I'm seeing if I can find this other song because I literally forgot the name of the song. But if I can't find it in the next link that I click, oh, my phone froze.
Okay. Does that mean it's quiz time?
Well, no, because I know the other one. It's Separate Ways by Journey.
I didn't watch any Journey music videos now that I realize it.
I really like this song, Separate Ways. I don't know. It just cracks me up. It's mainly due to, like, I remember hearing it for, like, the first time, like, when I was, like, in my teenager years. From the Game Grumps, actually. And, like, I watched Game Grumps. Like, I found them by accident day one, and then I started watching them. And I remember they brought up Separate Ways at one point, so I was listening to them, and I'm like, oh, man. And, like, I never actually watched the music video. Well, I did, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But, like, the reason why that song sticks out is that I told all my friends at that point that if I ever got into a relationship, I would just post that song up on social media, not even say that I'm in a relationship, just that song, it will be up there. And then it's just like listening back to the song now, I'm like, that is a terrible song to post. But the whole thing, the whole song, and there's like this is like a whole genre of like, I feel like 80s like songs and music videos where like it has the band playing, and it starts off with them like pretending to play, and then it just switches, and then like all the instruments show up, and it's just like okay, and then like just like I guess hot girl walking. Like she's just walking all over the place in it, like in the background, and it's just like she's in like, or the band is in another dimension, and she doesn't even acknowledge the band as they're like around her like singing and like just in her face, and she's just like just blankly staring out into the ocean like they're walking around in a harbor. And so there's that. There's like another one I can't remember, but it's just like it starts off like guitar wails and this like guy with a leather jacket open, like just like leaning against the wall, and then like it shows like a girl that is like, I don't know, like borderline lingerie, just packing things up like she's moving out, and I'm like, you're leaving like that?
Dressed like this?
Yeah, like you want to put pants on? Like, and then it's just like the whole song's like, oh, I didn't want you to leave. This is terrible. I was trying to find the name of this song, and she's just like, she doesn't even talk, and then like it's one of those things where it's just like band, and then like we hired hot girl to walk around on camera, and then it's like, is this the whole song? I remember clicking through it multiple times, and there actually, I wonder if it's in my history of YouTube, because I remember I had to look it up, but it was definitely one of those things where it's just like, what are you doing, person? And she's like standing at the edge of like, it's Whitesnake, Is This Love?
Oh, well, Whitesnake definitely would always just
Yes.
hire hot lady, and that's pretty much their entire music video genre.
Yeah, and so there's just like parts where she's just like, he's like laying in bed, leather jacket open. That being said, like it's a very like weird like group, but man, do all of those characters look like anime protagonists or video game protagonists? And I'm like, wait, when are you gonna pull out your gunblade?
Hence JoJo's Bizarre Circus. Because aren't a lot of them, or if not all of them, all named after musicians and bands?
I don't know. If there's certain people here that might get mad, but I never actually watched JoJo.
I also have not watched JoJo.
Yeah, I read the first one. Okay, yeah, chat saying that they are. But yeah, it was just one of those things that, like, just to finish my thought on this, like, dude's not sitting, just laying in bed, and like girl that apparently moved out, I don't know if she's now dream form, is just like, I don't know if it was supposedly like, I'm here to dance, but she's just like pacing back and forth at the end of the bed, just like, I'm here now. I'm just gonna like turn a little bit to make it look like I want to be here. Please put clothes on. That's all. Put clothes on. I want to leave.
That is so uncomfortable.
Yeah. So yeah, the 80s, man, they were a time.
A time. But okay, so we did not have many quizzes prepared. Given the time frame, we'll see how we go. I think the only two that I found were like, which 80s song are you? I think one is which 80s song are you, and one is which 80s theme you are. So which one did you want to try taking? And oh, also for anyone that is just now joining the live stream, for a recap of our top and bottom choices, my top two, my runner-up was Take On Me, Aha, and so was DPayne's. And then my number one was Thriller by Michael Jackson. My bottom two, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say my one was, actually I realized we both just said our tops, but go ahead, finish your thought. I don't know why, I was just like, you said my name, like, I'm ready.
And then my bottom two, runner-up was Down Under by Men at Work, and my worst was Total Eclipse of the Heart, Bonnie Tyler.
And my top, I dropped my phone. My top ones was Take On Me and by Aha, and Land of Confusion by Genesis, and my bads were Wake Me Up Before You Go Go by Wham and Eye of the Tiger by Survivor, but switched because I didn't put them on my document. Right. But like the more I talk about it, yeah, Eye of the Tiger I think is worse. The more I'm like, no, I had more emotion against that one.
You seemed very just like, I hate this. Why did you ruin this? Yeah, so now we move on to the quiz portion. Do you want to do which 80s song are you, or which 80s song is your theme?
Let's do. I don't know. Let's do Are we?
Okay. So yeah, so for anyone who is listening to us live, we will have the quiz up for you to participate with us live. And for anyone listening audibly later, then we'll have it in the description for you. So I'm going to say I go first because you did your worst. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
You go.
All right. What's your favorite hobby? Oh, there's so many options. Traveling, go to a pub with friends, watching movies, listening to music, dancing, going to concerts, relaxing at home, or drawing/painting.
Where's video games?
There's also no reading.
Who reads in the 80s? Except for Neverending Story. They tried then. It's like, this is never ending. No more reading.
Guess out of these, I will do relaxing at home.
I don't watch movies. Yeah, I'll do music. Ah, man. Okay. Choose an image that represents your personality. First one, it's definitely people at a concert. There's a dude giving a peace sign, bunch of smoke. There's one with a girl shaking her hair all around with headphones. There is a half and half where one half is makeup face, the other one is bearded face. I think they're the same person, but I'll leave that up to whoever's looking. There are the fourth one is shadow children making hearts. The next one is New Year's Eve, or people like, oh, confetti. Oh, this one's easy. This one is Homer Simpson. Just in his underwear, trashed. And then we have man and woman on top. Well, woman on top, man on bottom. I guess looking lovingly into each other's eyes, saying, I love cheesecake. And then Mickey and Minnie.
I don't know that any of these represent my personality very well. The closest is probably Homer Simpson. Assuming that it does not say that those are Duff beer, so I'm going to assume that's like lots of LaCroix or soda on the floor.
It's just LaCroix. Just like off screen is Strider and the bunnies like, get your life together. I don't know. Like,
a lot of them are close to each other. Like you've got the New Year's Eve and the concert, and then there's the girl enjoying her music. The Disney one is weird.
Yeah. But it's just like, I don't know. Like, I'm just imagining it like choosing your. This is just how my brain works, where it's just like my brain does not think in love, the shadow people, or other love of woman blanket, and my brain isn't like, oh, hey, Minnie, look at her castle. I'm gonna choose the teenage floppy-haired girl because she looks like she's annoyed with something. Maybe this quiz.
Okay. So
we know this one already.
Choose a color. Yellow, purple, red, pink, green, black, white, or blue. Blue.
Blue. Okay, choose the singer you like the most. Debbie Harry. Cher. That's not her name. Yeah, Cher. I said the wrong thing. Cher. Jimi Hendrix. Mick Jagger. Elton John. Diana Ross. Elvis Presley. David Bowie. Bowie.
I like a lot of these people.
Oh, good. I don't have to do this one, except this one's easier to explain. The next question.
Hendrix. Go ahead.
I did the last one.
Oh, did you? Oh, right, you did. Choose your favorite garment or accessory. I'm used to being the evens. Choose your favorite garment or accessory. Bandana on your head. Those jelly bracelets, but they're all black, and there's 20 of them on your wrist.
That's more than 20.
There's too many on your wrist. A blue button down. A white tank top on a male body. Jeans. leather pants, leather jacket, or super tight leggings? Do I
None of these.
jeans? I
I
wear
hate
jeans.
I hate jeans so much with a passion where I try to delete them from every life situation. I will choose the bandana because this guy's like, yeah, you know what? You like this bandana. Okay, what is your favorite music genre? Hard rock, pop dance, ballads, pop rock, synth pop, pop, soul pop, rock.
That's a lot of pop.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Um,
Pop, pop, pop. These are no more options. It ended at rock.
Hard rock or rock? I think I'll do rock.
These like power ballads, like the rock power ballads.
Probably. Like Meatloaf.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I'm trying to think. Oh, what's Coheed? Coheed and Cambria is like rock pop.
Pop rock. Yeah, yeah.
That's what I clicked. I'm trying to think because this is the 80s, so I'm like, I really like Coheed and Cambria a lot. So
What would be the equivalent? All
yeah.
right. So choose a word. Love, sky, hand, today, heart, dance, sun, slow.
What you call me?
Um,
Son, you slow?
Sky?
You ever just look at a hand? They're really weird looking. That's my word. Oh my gosh.
Yours is long.
Yeah. You want the evens? Choose a quote. You will never find peace of mind until you listen to your heart. Oh man, these sound like my fortune cookies. I like to be real private. You don't always want everyone around you, even when they like you. Option 3 is there are moments when I feel I've got it down. Moments when I just sing. Those are the moments that make me keep going. I feel like the guy from Jeopardy right now. Choose a quote for 400. The greatest education in the world is watching the masters at work. Number 5, I think it's 5, I lost count. Don't waste your time away thinking about yesterday's blues. The next one is I stand for freedom of expression, doing what you believe in, and going after your dreams. All right. Second to last one is you always have to remember, no matter what you're told, that God loves all the flowers, even the wild ones that grow on the side of the highway. And the last one is money might not buy happiness, but it can damn well give it.
Well then, okay. I guess mine is I like to be private.
I don't like any of these. Where's the reroll option like in TFT when I can get new ones? I'm gonna do don't waste your time thinking about yesterday's blues.
Okay. The most important thing for you is love, fun, happiness, friendship, music, sex, peace, or freedom.
Reroll.
um,
Well, we know Hops is love because girls just want to have. Wait, and it's fun because girls just want to have fun.
I think freedom?
I'm just sitting there and I'm like, I don't know. When do these quizzes get so hard?
Too many options.
many bad options, just like the 80s music videos. I'm choosing Freedom as well. I don't like any of the other ones. Hey, choose your favorite Hollywood star. Betty Davis. Gina, oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Lolo Bradiga. James Dean. Marlene Dietrich. Marilyn Monroe. Patrick Swayze. Elizabeth Taylor. This looks like the picture from Katy Perry's Dark Horse.
I'm pretty sure it's backwards. I'm pretty sure where Katy Perry's Dark Horse is inspired by this.
Maybe. I'm not changing this head. And Marlon Brando. Wasn't Patrick Swayze in Donnie Darko?
No.
Or maybe there's someone like it. Isn't Donnie Darko that I'm thinking of? Sorry, guys, I'm typing.
Jake Gyllenhaal?
No, he wasn't the main actor. I thought he was like... I thought he was in it. Yeah.
Who is he?
Patrick... Oh, sorry. I was about to say his name. Wait, Pat. Hold on. Am I saying the right name? Hold on. Oh, gosh. I misclicked. Yeah, Patrick Swayze. He... Oh my gosh, mouse. Please stay on the right tab. He is Jim Cunningham.
That doesn't tell me who he is in the movie.
He is I think oh man. I think I know who he is, but I'm forgetting. Guys, I'm typing again. I think he's like okay, yeah, so he's like a local celebrity, author, motivational speaker.
Oh, he's on stage for like a very short amount of time.
Yeah. But he's the one that's like, hey, stay away from drugs, sex, and alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all like, what do you know? And then doesn't it come out? Oh, and it's like, okay, those are spoilers. Watch the movie, it's great.
It is a good movie, but it's been a long time since I've watched it. I guess these go Betty Davis.
Like I recognize these faces. I'm just like I don't remember what they played. I'll just choose Patrick Swayze because he was in the Donnie Darkos.
The one Donnie Darko.
Though there's two. Well, actually, it's Darko. I have it. Oh man, this one doesn't have a little blurb at the end.
No, it's just the song. The song I got was "Sweet Child of Mine" by Guns N' Roses.
Okay. I got Queen, Radio Gaga. I don't know what the... Hold on.
I feel like I should know what that song is.
I'm listening to it right now. You guys can't hear it on the podcast, so it's okay.
So it looks like in chat someone got "Living on a Prayer," someone else got "Sweet Child of Mine," and then somebody else got "Careless Whisper." So at least there's varied answers.
I don't recognize this song. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, so I think that's about like an hour and a half that we've been going.
Yes.
Do we want to... It says this is 5 minutes. I'm just looking real quick.
Every time it says 5 minutes, it takes us like 25. So I'm going to say we outro it.
With this. Hey, there's a song that I completely forgot it was on here. We Didn't Start the Fire.
That's a weird video too.
It's a... Yeah, well... Oh yeah, and the more... Like I was about to say, yeah, and then I remembered more of it. Like, true. Yeah, so for people who missed the beginning for the announcements, or just wasn't listening, we next Saturday we aren't having the podcast live on Saturday. We are switching it with our TF Tuesday stream. Because on Saturday I'm doing a charity stream. I'm be going all day, and after we were talking about it, it didn't seem like it would fit well with the flow of the charity stream to do the podcast in there. So instead, we're doing it on Tuesday. We already have the topic chosen, and we have a guest joining us. It's our first ever guest, who goes by the name System Chalk. We already chose the topic, so that way we all could be prepared for it. Just to let people know, we want to like after every couple episodes or so, we would like to bring in a guest and talk about something. And for them, we're probably just going to choose a topic that guest is familiar with and could feel like they could ramble on about for a good while. So yeah, that's what's going on here. Yeah, so we'll be doing that. So yeah, pretty much our TF Tuesday stream will be in this time slot on the 25th, and then the 22nd. Is that what that Tuesday is?
21st.
One day off. That's it, guys. Time for me to just quit streaming. I don't know my calendar. On the 21st is when we're gonna have System Chalk on. We're gonna be talking about sci-fi movies, which should be a lot of fun. And from there, we're going to probably play TFT because I don't think it's going to take up the whole stream. You'll just get extra pointless discourse shenanigans. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, there's like 2 weeks left until the community cast. So if there's any questions, quizzes, or clarifications that you want to ask us or to make about any of the things we talked about on the podcast, or things we didn't talk on the podcast, or like, man, this quiz is really funny. Looking at you, Kat. I wish you did this. Feel free to send that to us on however you can contact us. For people that are listening, you can go to twitter.com/pointlessdisco for our Twitter page.
Yep. And yeah, thank you everyone for coming in, listening again. We always appreciate it. Again, like we say at the end of every podcast, we have ideas for live show shenanigans. But for us to get to that point, the podcast has to make it out there. So we would greatly appreciate it if you have a friend, share it their way. Or if you're listening on a platform that allows you to do reviews and comments, please do so. One of these days, we keep saying it again, we will find out how to show appreciation that you guys did that for us. We'll just have to find out which sites allow us. Did we ever get on iTunes? Or Apple Podcast, or whatever they like to call their podcast format? Because I know for anyone...
I'm refreshing right now.
Yeah.
No.
anyone listening live, you should be able to find us on all platforms other than that. If you want to go back and you missed any part of the episode and you would like to catch up and listen, or listen to any of our previous episodes as well.
And also, one thing I forgot to mention, the reason why we're not rolling for our next topic for you guys to vote on is that we realized we have the episode on Tuesday, and then it's the community cast the next week. So after the community cast, we'll roll for the next topic to find out if Alien Movies is going to the loser bin. It is on Google Podcasts.
Yeah, the only one that we're aware of that it's missing from on platform is the Apple.
I will let you know all that it's on. Prepare for random podcasts that you the podcast platforms you never heard of: Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcast, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Spotify. The two that we're not on with Anchor is Apple Podcast and Castbox, another one I never heard of. So yeah. I don't know. That's one of the things we can talk about this off stream or something else. But yeah, I don't know how Google Podcast works. I don't know how any podcast app works.
No, I mean, I've listened to us through Google Podcasts before, I believe. I just don't know where their streaming services overlap. Like, I know Spotify, technically you can listen to everything through the same thing, but it's like you have to go to the podcast section to search podcasts and stuff. Like, I think Spotify is more user friendly.
In short, if you definitely want to find us, go to Spotify because we're definitely on there. Second, if you do leave a review, can you tell us how to go find it? Because we can't even find out where that is. So, oh man.
But yeah, but Always appreciate you guys coming around. I think that wraps it up for this week's episode.
Yep. Oh, 80s music videos, you're so fun.
They were very fun. I'm also hungry.
I knew it.
I'm always hungry after a stream.
And I'm sweating because my air conditioner's off. So, yeah, we'll see y'all probably later tonight on our streams. Toodles.
Later.